Okay. Amazing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Amanda Bauk, and we are going to run through an exciting presentation this afternoon. Feel free to put some questions into the chat as we go along. I have opened that up for everybody. Make sure that you do use that blue drop down to say that your message is to go to everybody and not just the host or the panelists. But please don't be shy. Go ahead and use that. Or if you prefer the Q&A feature, then you're welcome to engage throughout the presentation as we go through. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. So Legend Real Estate Trust, we are a trust that is focused on acquiring multifamily properties anywhere across Canada. And our intention here is to help as many Canadians as possible build effortless wealth through investing into real estate. Now, this is how Marty and I got started 2 decades ago. I want to share a little bit of a story here with you guys. I also want to clarify that you can absolutely build wealth through real estate without ending up with a second job or a plunger in your hand. So, I hope to debunk a couple of myths here today as well. Also to avoid having 1,000 tabs open on your computer to research landlord-tenant laws at night. If that hits a little bit close to home to you, I understand. I've been there. You're not alone. I feel you. So I just want to share with you guys a little bit here that our very first rental property, we actually lived in a basement, excuse me, of our own home where we rented out the top floor. So I was 21, Marty was 24 when we got started. We became homeowners and landlords in our very first real estate transaction. We were young, we were ambitious, maybe a little overconfident. And while all of our friends were going on vacations and planning weddings and starting their family, we were spending all of our time at the Home Depot. And I mean, we were on a first name basis with many of the staff here. We were there during the evenings and certainly through every single weekend. But excuse me, during this time, something really clicked for us. And we realized that real estate had the potential to change our lives and change our trajectory. And not just through active appreciation or cash flow, but through choices. And we kept reinvesting our funds, managing our own properties ourselves, and we started to scale slowly. And I'm serious when I say we started to scale slowly. This is not a fast game to get in and out of real estate. But it wasn't until that we hit that wall, physically, emotionally, mentally, that we realized that doing this all of ourselves was really keeping us small. And that's when it shifted. So this is what I want to share with you guys here today is how you can own real estate, build wealth, and do it all without being stuck in the weeds, without being burnt out, without the drama. And here's the good news is that you don't need to live in a basement apartment like we did, how we got started out. You don't need to sacrifice your time, your sanity, or your family. You just need to be willing to look at real estate a little bit differently and align yourself with the people who know how to do it right. Real estate has changed our lives, and only after we stop trying to do it ourselves, now we can help others to take this same journey and with a lot less stress. We've got, 20 plus years of experience that we can share with all of you. So I want to thank you for being here today. And if you take one thing away from this presentation, let it be this. You don't have to choose between building wealth and living well. You can do both. You just need the right model, the right partners, and the courage to let go of that wrench. So let's make real estate easy together. So for today's webinar, we're going to jump into our agenda here next. So if you've got a job or a business or a life, you're definitely going to want to hear this. So our agenda, we're going to start with top 5 mistakes that I see investors making regularly. I'm going to show you the truth about DIY investing and why this is only optional. You do not have to do it yourself. We're going to walk through what our unfair advantage is within real estate investing. and what makes our model so different. And this includes teaching you how you can self-direct your RSPs to invest directly into real estate. I'll show you about diversifying beyond the public markets and into some private markets. Today, you'll gain access to a growing wealth building real estate portfolio. And this is typically reserved for accredited investors, but we've opened it up to eligible investors across Canada, and how you can maximize your monthly cash flow with quarterly cash flow returns. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you 5 specific, not generic things that you can take away today to move yourself towards passive investing through real estate. Okay, so jumping ahead here. So the top 5 mistakes that investors make, and I see this all the time. I've been a coach in real estate for 20 years now. Right when I started investing is when I started coaching friends and family, and then turned it into a part of one of my many professions over the years. So these top 5 investor mistakes are really important to pay attention to. Number 1, waiting for the perfect time. And spoiler alert, there's no perfect time. Markets are going to change, life is going to happen, and waiting often means that you're missing out on potential growth. We hear this time and time again that it's the deals that investors didn't move forward with that they regret the most, rather than the choices that they did actually make and get involved in with real estate. Number 2, overloading on stocks and ignoring diversification. If your entire portfolio rises and falls with the stock market, which is tied to just general headlines and investor speculation, you're not really diversified. So private real estate offers this balance and stability that traditional markets just simply cannot offer. Private markets and private real estate is tied to real wealth. Bricks and mortar equity is what it's tied into, not public headlines and the speculation that we do see in the public markets. And number 3, trying to go at it alone. So investing isn't something that you need to figure out for yourself, but having the right guidance makes the world of difference. I'm telling you this. It helps you to avoid some costly mistakes. That your starting point can be much closer to your goals if you are partnered up with the right professionals on your team. Number 4, underestimating the power of passive income. So obviously, active income is going to pay the bills, but it's that passive income that truly builds the long-term wealth and freedom. And that's what real estate done right can deliver, is a blend of both, that active and the passive. And number 5, not having a clear long-term plan. It's not just about immediate returns, but it's about what those returns can actually do for your life. Starting with your goals to help align with your strategy with what really matters is extremely important. You don't necessarily just want to buy yourself a job and feel really stressed out. And you just say, you're focused so much on real estate that you're gaining a little bit of money, but you're not really getting that lift in overall life quality. So that's what I believe are the top 5 mistakes that many investors make in their career. Next one, that next point that I want to talk about here is the myth that real estate investing is passive. So I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but real estate is not necessarily a passive activity. I mean, technically, yes, it is, but you ask anybody who is managing tenants, chasing rent, doing repairs, how passive does that actually feel? Now, I've been a landlord and investor since I was 21 years old, so this is all I know. I'm always used to being on call, so to speak. But average people, everyday people who are already managing life and career and families, etc., are not necessarily used to this chase of tenants that requires so much of your time and energy. So we've worked with landlords who are just ready to sell their properties and get their evenings and their weekends back. We've also worked with professionals who love the idea of real estate investing, but simply just don't want the stress of it. So this is what makes us different. I've spent the last 20 years in this space. I've coached investors, we've led renovation projects, we've self-managed our properties. And together with my partner in life and in business, Marty, we've never lost $1 of investor capital for our entire career. And this isn't because we're lucky. It's because we lead with strategy, transparency, and we focus on people over properties time and time again. And a couple reasons here why we stopped doing everything ourselves. Because we used to do absolutely everything ourselves when we were just starting off in our early 20s, and we sincerely believed that we actually had to. So a couple reasons why we stopped is because, we were doing the self-management of all of our properties, tenant calls, tenant placements, handling repairs, maintenance, bookkeeping, taxes, renovations, and the list goes on. This slide could be enormous, but those are just a few points to include here. But of course, you're going to hit a ceiling for time and energy, leading to burnout and slowed down growth because you've only got the same 24 hours in a day that I do. Everybody's got 24 hours in a day. How can you actually choose to spend that time? We ended up shifting our focus from being the sole operators to being strategic investors and business owners. Now, this shift did not happen overnight. This has been progressive over our last 20 years of building our career and getting to this point. And right now, we've built a real estate business model that empowers other investors to invest passively with the professional support that we offer to our investors. And how we've earned investor trust over all these years. A couple points here up on the screen to share. The first and foremost is that we're not new to the game. We didn't just show up and say, hey, I love real estate. I saw this cool TV show and I wanted to get involved and now I want to manage your money. We have 20 years of experience in this game doing this together as partners in business and in partners in life. So we have real life experience for 2 decades investing into real estate and working with passive investors over all of these years. And once again, we have never lost $1 of investor capital for our entire career, and we are super proud to say that. We've got a proven track record of managing multi-partner deals, and we're currently working with hundreds of happy investors who've worked with us for many years and often continue to reinvest and invest into multiple projects that we have available. My background is in coaching, public speaking, and this really helps to bring transparency, clarity, and education to investor relationships. And we've built Legend Real Estate Trust as a platform for everyday investors to be able to grow your wealth without the requirement of becoming a landlord. Because let's be honest, landlording is not glamorous and it's not for everybody, but most of us do understand the power of real estate and that this is how most Canadians, most everyday Canadians are choosing real estate to secure their financial future and build their wealth. Now, our primary market has always been Ontario, Canada. So we have solely invested into Ontario. However, Legend is structured and able to invest anywhere across Canada. But here's a couple points about why Ontario is still our top market of choice. And this picture on the screen is actually some beautiful trilliums that were blooming over the weekend. I actually took that photo and added it to the presentation today. But we have exclusively focused on university cities that have really strong fundamentals. Waterloo, Guelph, London, that we have strategically selected these markets based on many different factors here. So it combines the student rental demand, employment stability, and low vacancy. So when we look at CMHC statistics, we are often below 2% for vacancy rate in these particular markets. Investing in Ontario gives us that deep local expertise that allows for off-market deal access, accurate underwriting, and successful tenant strategies, because these are the markets that Marty and I have always been investing into. And this helps to maintain that boots on the ground insight while applying our systematized and scalable investment model. So we love investing in Ontario, and we will continue to invest in Ontario, Canada. Now, just going through here what's called our unfair advantage in real estate. So these are a couple points here that just set us apart from others within the industry. So what I bring to the table is many years of business leadership, investor relations experience, and investor coaching experience as well. And Marty brings 20 plus years of construction experience. He is a certified carpenter and underwriting expertise. He loves scouring the markets and finding properties and doing the acquisitions. This is definitely his expertise, and loves doing the underwriting and running the numbers and the pro formas. So us combining our skills together is truly just, what we believe is the ultimate duo in real estate investing. Also, our track record of transforming distressed and underperforming buildings, also taking turnkey properties and turning them into high-performing assets. This is what we do. It's the bread and butter of our business. We buy and hold real estate. It is boring, it is stable, it is predictable, and this is what we do at Legend. We've taken that blend of our practical knowledge and emotional intelligence that we've gained over all these years and turned this into an incredible ability to manage projects and people with equal skill. So these are very different skill sets here that we've got a great deal of experience in that we have successfully combined within our business model. And of course, we're passionate about helping investors to grow without burnout. We've experienced burnout over the years, but we want to help you guys. We want to help investors grow without that burnout, without sacrificing family, without sacrificing your career, and more importantly, your time. So here's my offer to you. What I'm offering today isn't a course, it isn't a class. This is truly real vetted opportunity to explore how you can partner with us on our next multifamily project without ever becoming a landlord. You will gain access to our same systems, our strategy, our support that has helped us manage for over 20 years of successful real estate projects and protect every dollar of investor capital. We do all the heavy lifting. We do the underwriting, the acquisitions, renovations, ongoing management, and you guys would get equity ownership. And with that comes peace of mind. So here's what that looks like. At Legend Real Estate Trust, investors have the opportunity to participate in our investments through Class A trust units. So currently we're selling trust units at $10 per share, and our minimum investment is $10,000. Our targeted annual returns are 15 to 20%, and our preferred returns, or the cash flow payment, is 8% annual, which is distributed on a quarterly basis. We've got flexible cash flow options that if you don't wish to receive your cash flow, then you can do the DRIP program. That's the dividend reinvestment program. And this just allows you to buy additional shares with the funds that I would have issued to you for cash flow. And we offer that with a 2% incentive. At Legend, you can use several different investment vehicles, which include our RSP, our ESP, LIRA, TFSA. Any Canadian registered account is acceptable to self-direct and invest into Legend. And of course, cash is acceptable. Now, if you're using a Canadian registered account, this is a very simple process. You're not actually cashing out your RSP, you're self-directing your RSP, and our team helps you to do all of this paperwork. You don't need to do it alone, but you have the power to self-direct any Canadian registered account into Legend Real Estate Trust, should you choose, and this keeps all of your tax shelter benefits. So if you've got one that's performing at less than 15 to 20%, then perhaps you would like to consider what that could do for you if you were to self-direct. Now, there is investor suitability here as well. So you must meet eligible investor status or accredited status, and our friends in Quebec must be accredited. We do have an offering memorandum that is available for your review, and this is for Canadian investors only. A couple key points here that we certainly want to highlight is that we're acquiring this multifamily property in a high demand Ontario university city with extremely low vacancy rates. This is a stabilized cash flowing asset that's already undergone major repositioning with complete turnover. And it's located within walking distance of major employers, transit, healthcare, and student demand hubs. We're talking about abundance here, and we're working with a select group of qualified investors who've either worked with us before or they've been following our multifamily model through Legend Real Estate Trust. Our investors are familiar with our track record, our markets, and ultimately our execution. Now, there is a limited space here available. So now is the best time to act and invest into Legend before our share price goes up. And we are 73% funded on this next acquisition. So we're keeping a tight group, and capital is capped for now until we've got our second acquisition to ensure that we've got a clean structure and a smooth acquisition. Or sorry, a smooth execution and acquisition, actually. Now, 5 things that you can do today. So this is what we did, and it changed everything for us. And of course, you can do it too. So number 1, stop thinking that you need to do this all yourself. This is one belief that will actually keep you from growing. Leveraging professionals, building a team, trust the process. If you've been playing solo, you're actually slowing yourself down. Number 2, know your zone of genius. Some of our investors are doctors, engineers, creatives who don't want to be landlords, and that's okay. So real estate should support your lifestyle, not consume your lifestyle. Number 3, to invest in areas that you understand. So we focus on university cities in Ontario, Guelph, Waterloo, London, because we know them inside and out. Don't chase the shiny markets. Go to where you can actually win. Number 4, to focus on cash flow and control. We don't gamble on appreciation. We reposition properties with turnover, often 100%, and make them perform. And you can do the same or partner with somebody who knows how to do this, or to get involved in a turnkey asset where the property is already performing at a high level. And of course, don't wait for perfect. Start with clarity. So whether it's a $50,000 investment or learning the ropes, clarity comes with taking action. So the earlier that you start, the more options you're going to have later on. Now, some people say that the best time to buy real estate was yesterday. The second best time is today. So real estate historically has gone up, 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 up. And, there's reason to expect that it will continue to do so. So disclaimer here up on the screen. So if you do decide to move forward with Legend Real Estate Trust, we do have an offering memorandum that you would be required to review before you participate in this type of investing. Like all investments, this one comes with risks that you guys need to be well aware of before getting involved. So here is our disclaimer. We also work with Equivesto, who is our exempt market dealer, and they handle all of our compliance and ensure that all of our investors' funds are managed professionally on our behalf. And a thank you here from the Legend team. So that's myself and Marty in the middle. So we are the founders of Legend, husband and wife combo. We are truly a family-run business here. And then we've got Christina and Samantha on our team here as well. So Christina heads all of our marketing and our creative, and Samantha is doing investor relations and reaching out to our investors and in touch with everybody on a regular basis. So we do want to just say thank you for participating in today's webinar. And the last piece here is the next steps. So if you are curious to learn more, or you're curious to get involved, then your next step is to book a call with me. We'll jump on a Zoom, we'll talk about your investing background, what your investing goals are, and just have a conversation to see, does it make sense for Legend to fit in with those lifestyle goals that you're looking for? So you can learn more about Legend on our website here. You can email me directly, amanda@legendinvestments.ca. And then we've got the QR code up on the screen here. If you, I bet my ladies are, oh, thank you, Sam. So Sam is putting lots of links and resources in the chat here as well. So please go ahead, grab some of those links there to schedule a call with me. I would say that's your very best next step at this point, so that we can connect directly and review any questions that you have. So I'm just going to stop there and just check in with my team and see, are there any questions in the Q&A? Are there any questions in the chat here? And yeah, I'm just going to pause. Sam, Christina, if you want to jump in and let me know. Oh, actually, I do see a Q&A. So Kristen, her question is it the same process to invest with a personal or business funds, or are there any restrictions to using business funds? So this is a great question, and it's just a difference of paperwork. So Kristen's question is to say, if I own Real Estate Investing Inc. versus Amanda Bauk, is there a difference to invest into Legend? And it's just paperwork. So you do have the ability to use your corporation to invest into Legend. So it is definitely an option. And we have many investors who have chosen this route. For most, if you're going to invest through your corporation, it's just for tax advantages and just the way that you've got yourself structured from a tax perspective. So that is an excellent question, and thank you for sharing. You're welcome. And I just saw one there, and I'm just going to cruise through the chat here for a second. Thank you again, Sam, for putting those resources, and Christina for sharing all of our socials there.
There's
okay.
No more questions.
Okay, amazing. Well, without further ado, I just want to thank everybody for spending time with us this afternoon. Oh, wait, a question just popped in. So just asking, so we have an anonymous attendee to outline a little bit more about eligible and accredited investor piece, and how would you find out? So I am not licensed to determine if you are an eligible or an accredited investor. So this is where our EMD actually comes into play. So our EMD Equivesto would go through just some personal assets, what your income is, risk tolerance, and they would be able to help you determine. In our investor deck, we do have a side-by-side comparison that gives some examples that you can have a look for yourself to see, do you meet or do you expect to meet eligible or accredited investor status? But book a call with me. Definitely, let's chat one-on-one and see about your goals and your current investing situation, and if Legend has potential to make sense within your portfolio.
We have another question from James. How long is your money locked per investments?
Great question. So we've built Legend with investors and flexibility in mind. So we know that sometimes investors might need to withdraw their capital. So there's no final locked in period. We would like to see investors commit for a 5-year period. if that's possible for them. If you need to leave early, then you would pay what's called an early redemption fee. If you stay in beyond the 5 years, then there is no more redemption fee when it's time for you to exit from the investment. Okay, excellent. And let's see, did we have another? Nope.
Nope, that is everything.
Okay, amazing. Well, I'm going to leave the screen open for a few more minutes here past the webinar so that if anybody needs to grab some of the resources from the chat. But again, the best next step right now is to make sure that you book a call with us. Oh,
There is one more.
Yes, there's another one.
I see that. So from Andrew, you mentioned that you've never lost money before. What are the known scenarios that would make you lose money? Well, I would say, speaking from, an investment coach and what I've seen kind of happen in our industry is kind of poor management, over leverage, speculation are some things that I've seen other investors make mistakes on. At Legend, we have done our very best to just always be mitigating risk as much as possible. So our investment strategy does not include land developments. We're focused on acquiring properties that are already built, that are already tenanted, that are already cash flowing to reduce this risk as much as possible. And we also make sure that we're not over leveraged as well. So we're looking for reasonable loan to values. We're not looking to build a portfolio on borrowed funds. We're looking to partner with investors and do as much equity positions as possible. And also focusing in those tier one markets, those best markets that we can be investing into helps to reduce that risk as much as possible. And sincerely just taking all of our experience that we've gained over the last 20 years of us really being in the trenches and doing this and applying it to our business model today for Legend Real Estate Trust. So although there are risks associated with investing into any type of private equity, any type of real estate, we have done our very best to mitigate those risks as much as possible.
We have another question.
I see that. So tax shelters such as TFSA, RSP, would you need to use Olympia Trust? Yes, absolutely. So it's a simple process here. The first step would be to book a call with me. And then should you decide that you want to move forward to invest into Legend, I would connect you to Equivesto. That's our EMD. And they would help you to either set up an Olympia Trust account or to connect your existing Olympia Trust account. So Olympia Trust is a custodial account, and you would essentially take your RRSP or whatever registered account it is, you would move it to Olympia, and then it would be self-directed into Legend. And this is what keeps all of those tax shelter benefits. It's an incredible way to just really leverage your existing investor portfolio and just to get it performing within your investing goals and lifestyle expectations. Okay, and I see that there are a few more questions popping in. So are you investing in one particular property or a pool? And has it been constructed and ready to rent out? So great question here. So you are investing into a portfolio of properties, a growing portfolio of properties. So you would not be investing into one particular property. So this helps to mitigate mitigate risk within your investing even further. So not only are you investing into a multifamily property, our first one is a 60-unit building in Waterloo, Ontario, but for Legend investors who are coming in now, you would benefit from all future acquisition as well. So it is a growing portfolio of properties that you would be subscribing to. And our first property is constructed already. It's already been renovated. It's tenanted. It will be cash flowing on closing. So it truly is a turnkey asset that you guys can participate in if this type of investment really fits in line with your investing goals and of course, your lifestyle goals. And I see another question here. Could you talk about the difference between 15 to 20% ROI and the preferred returns at 8%? Yes. So 15 to 20%, this is the total projected return. And it is made up through two separate components. It's the 8% preferred return is the cash flow payment. And then 7 to 12% is our projected equity growth. So 8% cash flow, this will be calculated annually, distributed quarterly. Unless you do the DRIP program, you can reinvest it back into the fund. And then the 7 to 12% equity growth, this is realized upon redemption, and it is shown through your share value increasing. So the share values will increase as we add more properties into the portfolio, as we pay down our mortgage, as we increase rents at our building, and even just through general market growth as well. So the total return of 15 to 20% is made, targeted return is made up through 8% cash flow and then 7 to 12% in equity. And Kristen is asking, can you share what the unit shares are increasing to and when? No, I can't share those final details other than I'm just letting you know that the share price is going to go up. So currently we are selling at $10 per unit, and we are just finalizing what our increase is going to be, and we will lock in a final deadline. I would encourage you that if you are able to participate, come in before the end of this month in this closing, and you can certainly get in for the $10 per unit share price. Kristen, yeah, you didn't think so, but always happy to ask. Yeah, I understand that. And then I've got another question here sent to hosts and panelists is how is the money that you invested secured? So you would be coming in as an equity partner. So we do have that offering memorandum, and you would be subscribing into the trust. So you're purchasing Class A trust units, and that's what you actually own. And then another question here is, can Olympia Trust be shared with more than one company to invest? I'm not sure I understand that question. So, okay, so if I understand it correctly, if you're already using your Olympia Trust account to invest in so-and-so other private REIT, can you use that same Olympia Trust account to invest in Legend Real Estate Trust? Then the answer is yes, depending on the source of your funds. If it's your same RRSP that you want to divide, say, 50,000 here and 50,000 there, then I believe that is possible. But I would certainly want to make sure that Equivesto, my EMD, looks at your individual investment opportunity here, and they can have a look at a current statement for your RSP or wherever you're drawing the funds from, and they'll be able to answer that question with absolute certainty for each individual situation. But I believe that is possible.
I think that's it.
Okay. Just kind of catch my breath there for a second. Okay. Amazing. Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us. And thank you for those really great questions at the end of the presentation. So I would love the opportunity to connect with each and every one of you on a one-on-one basis. Let's meet face-to-face over Zoom and talk about your investing goals and how Legend can potentially help you to build that effortless wealth through real estate without ever needing to become a landlord or to touch a hammer. So thank you again, everybody. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. We will share this recording with you as well by email. And I'll leave this open for a few more minutes in case you have to grab any links, more specifically my calendar link. So everybody, thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Amanda, I've also gone ahead and put them in the chat again because I know we had some great questions. So it's the first in the chat again.
Perfect.
So if everyone just wants to copy it, everything's there for them.
Amazing. Thank you so much.